Hey, welcome to Bluejay Banter postgame. We are live at Let It Fly, where we had a small but enthusiastic crowd for the game tonight.
We take it, man.
We take it.
Yeah.
Like we said, we've been telling you all season long, this place has been packed for these watch parties. I think people are just New Year's.
Yeah.
Everybody's just like, all right, we're staying home tonight.
100%. Yeah, I think so. And for the
people,
and we do travel well no matter where we go. So just the fact that we got people here in the new year.
I want to talk to you about something after the game I saw too. Anyway, Tim Curter, Josh Jones with you. Prospective father, Josh. Yeah. So if he's a little off, he's a little nervous. He's going to be doing our chat run tonight, by the way.
Yeah, I'm honored, man.
That brings me to this point. If you're on our YouTube channel, make sure, number one, you hit subscribe, because subscribe really helps us out and passes the word along to all Jays fans. Number two, we have that chat feature. That's where we want to get all your feedback, questions, so forth. You've been great since we opened that up a few games ago. It's been awesome.
Yep.
It helps me and Josh out a lot to get topics to talk about, too, as well.
Yep.
We want to thank all our sponsors, CareMinders Home Care, Equitable Bank, we take banking personally, and Godfather's Pizza Pie, Piled High. As I said, Tim and Josh with you tonight. We're just going to get some comments on the game. We'll do all our features, Unsung Hero Words, Call of the Night, and discuss many features. I want to bring this up so I don't forget.
Okay.
So after the game, I was kind of watching because that game got over like in an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, right.
It was a really fast game. Yeah. So CBS had a little time to kill before the next game, which is unusual.
Right.
Usually they're late going back, right?
Right.
And so they're showing Creighton. They talk to Mac, and then they're showing Creighton. And, like, the Creighton players are just wandering in the stands talking to people. It's kind of weird.
Right.
Because if you go over to BluejayBanter.com, if you're a member, subscribe right now. Go and be a member at BluejayBanter.com. So our buddy Ron Bailey over at the rival site for Georgetown, before every game, he always texts me and goes, hey, you want to exchange information? We got look, Josh, we have to. Ross just loves this guy. We've got to get him on the show when you're here. You will die laughing. This guy is so cool.
Yeah.
So, and he's really tuned into the AAU scene in D.C.
Oh,
so that's really cool when he starts talking about players. Yeah. But anyway, so I said to him, I said, he goes, hey, you got questions for me? Because he had all kinds of questions. I'm like, Ron, I really don't. You got a new coach we're familiar with, but I do have this question. I go, A, how have the alumni taken to the new coach?
Right.
And B, what have the crowds been like?
Yeah.
Right? Like, are you getting? He said, first of all, the alumni thought Ed would walk in here, snap his fingers, and we'd be like 12-1. Yeah. Well, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
All right. Ed says 2 years. He goes, I'm thinking it's going to be more like 3 before we get the pieces in place.
Right.
And he goes, so we had some nice crowds, way better than last year.
Right.
At the games, he goes, now it's starting to fade. And I go, ooh, on a Tuesday night, the night after New Year's, he goes, yeah, it's not going to be good.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
You could see tonight there was nobody there.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
There was nobody there.
Yeah, they put a percentage on the screen, and I think it was like 6-25, 7-25, 7-6. But now they're right even at 500. I mean, he's doing already better, Yeah.
So now, he's 7-7 now. Yeah. But he's going to have it's just set your TVs when when DePaul and Georgetown play. That's going to be the battle for last place right there. That's going to be last place.
And I'll tell you this about that. To me, I was kind of like watching. I knew it was a game we was gonna win, so I mean I got a perspective about that. But like
little dicey at the beginning.
Yeah, it was. But I was watching Georgetown, and I was just kind of like wondering like what was his angle. I was trying to figure out his coaching strategy. Because there was a lot of things that they were doing in sporadic points in the game that actually worked, but they were down 20. Like such as attack the basket, they scored a couple in a row. They were shooting too many jumpers. You
could just tell like. When we've always played him in the past, it's been a rock fight, right?
I know, yeah.
He gets into that flex offense. They all stand around the free throw line, and they just screen.
I was trying to figure it out.
You could tell he's not running that. He's just like, I got the guys to do that.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Because I'm just trying to keep it under a 20-point margin.
It was like a very athletic pickup game.
Yeah.
You know?
Really, it wasn't. You're right. It wasn't all that dissimilar when Ewing has been there.
I know. I know.
And that was kind of like the head scratcher.
And maybe that's me not knowing the culture there. And I
just don't think he's got the guys to do what he wants to do. You know,
I agree. Yeah,
and he probably doesn't have a buy-in from these guys yet. And then to not have Epps in the lineup tonight, that just killed him.
They showed him on the bench.
I was like, oh my God, he's not playing. This is going to be
I know.
And boy, we tried our darndest in that first half to make it a game. 11 turnovers. Those are some of 7 of them were some of the worst turnovers I've ever seen. They look like 8th grade basketball turnovers.
Yeah. And I don't know. I was trying to wager about that. I didn't know if it was for the, sometimes like in boxing when you fight, like styles make fights.
Yes.
I didn't know if it was a thing where Georgetown was playing so unorthodox and so free that we were just like playing sloppy because of the flow of the game.
Nice try, Josh.
But no, it wasn't that. I tried, it wasn't
just
that.
Dribbles the ball out of bounds. We're making terrible passes into Kalkbrenner. I mean, we know Kalk doesn't have the greatest hands, which disappoints me greatly, but we're trying to bounce passes in traffic to him. Sure. That ain't going to work.
Yeah, I didn't really I watched this game from a perspective of I knew we were going to win. I was just thinking from all right, what is Matt going to do different? I wonder if he's going to throw Josiah in or just things like that. This game seems like to me that Coach was trying to get his guys a confidence boost.
Boom.
And
100%. 100%. That's exactly what I was going to say. And that second half, we played a good second half. Very good second half.
Yeah, we did.
You could see the confidence. Yeah. I want to talk about one guy, even though he's still not shooting the ball.
I know. And Ashworth, the thing is, keep it going, though. Don't let him try to.
You could see Ashworth confidence growing out there because he did a pretty good job defensively, even though he's outsized by 3 inches.
Yeah, they were trying to keep him.
And he did a pretty decent job overall. Yes, did he get beat a few times? Yeah. He's gonna because he's undersized, but he did a really nice job defensively, and the confidence grew in him when he went in and laid that layup in.
Up, man. Yeah,
then when he got in the lane, he was looking to shoot.
Right.
So it's starting to come. Right. It's baby steps.
And that's why I was like, and so I got a question for you, but I got a comment according to what you said. So my comment is, how far do you take that to the point where it's like, it's Georgetown versus we'll take it if it builds his confidence.
That's number 2.
That was my thought.
That was my that was my thought all day when people said, "What do you think?" And I said, "This is a get right game. This is a game where we're going to gain confidence in what we're doing. We're going to work on some stuff." In the first half, I'm like, "Ooh, that didn't go well."
I know.
The second half, though, we got it going. The other thing Mac knew tonight was because they were shorthanded, you kept hearing them in the first half. Because there's nobody
in there. I know. Yeah, you're right.
Push it. Because he knew eventually, sure, they were hitting some threes in that first half. Then all of a sudden, they went a stretch about 4 minutes to go in the first half to about 10 minutes to go in the game.
Yeah.
They didn't hit any shots.
So my question is, does it kind of seem like you get a faster flow or a more free-flowing flow with Farabello at the 1 versus Ashworth?
I saw that on Twitter tonight some, but I want to say this about Ashworth. He was pushing that ball hard tonight.
He was trying to do his job.
He was flying up the floor.
He was trying to do his job.
He was flying up the floor.
Right.
And I didn't see the final stats, but at one point he was 3-1 assisted turnover.
Yeah.
And he didn't have any turnovers in the second half, so it only grew from there.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
You can kind of tell the difference between he and Farabello, as in the seasoned vet and the experience of the conference versus coming in.
Now Farabello
it's not about skill and talent.
Yeah, Farabello doesn't push it as quickly up the floor as Ashworth does.
No, not at all.
Ashworth is pretty quick and pretty good with the ball. I think people aren't giving him his due for that too. Right. He's handling the ball against these past games against pressure and so forth. I thought tonight, especially in that second half, he did a really nice job.
Yeah.
He made some nice passes. He made a great pass to Shireman on that layup.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The other thing that this is going to sound really stupid because we all know this.
What's that?
And again, like to your point, it was Georgetown. But Baylor, he gets the rebound, okay?
Yeah.
He's past half court, and Georgetown, there's 3 guys at Georgetown haven't made half court yet. I mean, he is incredible how quickly he pushes that ball down the floor.
No, for sure, yeah.
For a 6'7" guy.
Yeah, I think that, that's kind of like an underrated skill that he has.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of times in the type of games we play, like, most of the times we got Steven or we got Trey that get out on the break. But, like, it's a combo guard offense. Like, I kind of like the point of times when Farabello was at the 1 and Ashford was at the 2, just for the simple fact that I feel like it will put Shireman in a combo position to where he can push it up and try to make a play himself. Because Ashworth is always going to defer and try to make a play for somebody else. But for Shireman to get up the court that fast, I think that can be a secret weapon in the future, especially when he's leading the conference in scoring, right? And sometimes we go in slumps, and Trey just, Trey is Trey. Trey gonna come alive when you need him, but you need that other guy. And I think him doing that, I think that'll work.
I mean, double again for Baylor again tonight. Just
right.
Phenomenal job. And he did a phenomenal job down the defensive end as well.
For sure. Yeah, he plays hard. He consistently plays hard. And if I'm looking for a dog, I think he got some of it in him.
Again, Mason didn't, Mason probably hurt his shooting percentage again tonight, but great effort. I mean, great effort tonight. I mean, he was really a lot of effort on the boards.
Right. Yeah, I
really enjoyed that.
I like him because he's always going to do his job.
I got a text from my son, but when I was walking in here, and he said, "I'm watching the pregame," and Wally Zerbiak said, "Creighton needs to get the ball to Mason Miller more." And I said, Wally's not totally 100% wrong there.
Yeah.
We don't run enough plays for Mason because of the way he's shooting the ball. He's probably been, other than Baylor, our most consistent shooter.
True. And also our offense is so open that you got guys that could make a play anytime themselves. And normally he's a deferrable player.
Right.
So I think I agree with you. Like, we could run some potential sets where he can come off and hit a shot. You can do the same for Trout.
And he's good to hit. He seems comfortable hitting that shot moving. Just like Trout is.
That's what he does. That's what
he can move a little quicker than Trout.
Yeah, that's the difference. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
But Jays with a huge win tonight, 77-60. They took care of business the second half. We doubled their rebounds, 42-21.
Man, I just feel like half of that was
Now, they're
effort.
A little bit unsized.
Yeah.
They're undersized a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
If I was going to rate the players tonight, we already talked about Ashworth. Trey had a really good second half, really strong. So. Those 5 turnovers were a bit concerning in the first half.
From your perspective, where did they come from? What was his intention?
Just sloppy play, I think. I think most of them were sloppy.
I can agree with that. I can agree. Yeah,
like that one time he tried to make a pass where there was no chance of it being complete.
I can agree with
that. He tried to throw a cross. I think times we're trying to make too many cross-court passes. And I saw somebody on Twitter tonight, too, have a good point when that was, we're a little bit, everybody's trying to make a play for somebody else.
Yeah.
And we're just not totally in sync because we have a new point guard, we have a new 4, and we're just not in sync. And we're all trying, and we seem like we're all moving too fast at times.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that. Like, I think that's maybe the turnovers weren't just as easy as take care of the ball. Maybe it was just like, hey, just start playing the game.
Yeah, just hoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, right.
And in the second half, I felt like we hooped and we didn't have any turnovers.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I mean,
3, but
it was
live with 3.
It was good to see a glimpse of like quote unquote Creighton basketball.
Yeah.
Up and down, free flowing, swing, make a play for the next guy. I think what I was looking at that game for the most was how are we responding to certain situations. Georgetown did get straight line drives at times. Like one-on-one to the basket.
They did.
Like, those are some of the things that I look at that I can't forget in the 2 losses that we had that I'm concerned. Like,
Ashford got beat a couple times, but then there was a couple times in the first half where he made stops.
Yeah, he did.
He stopped.
Yeah, he did.
I
think, he's playing with he's conscious now that what he was told.
I was specifically watching him on the defense. He was busting his tail. Yeah, he was chasing. He was chasing all over the floor.
They try to key on him a lot.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
No, he was. He 100% was. I mean, this is one of those games where like the takeaways from me, especially from a player that actually was on the team, was like, how are we gaining that confidence back within the nucleus of guys that play, but also how are we responding to some of those weak points from the last 2 games that we dropped. And I think that we did a fairly good job. Like, we got some great film to pick up on, especially like keying on those turnovers, but they're just simple plays that we can easily fix.
Yes.
Defensively, I still feel like Kalkbrenner should have had 30 and 30. That's just me. That's just how I feel.
Yeah, we're still not getting the ball into him as much as we could.
No,
and then when we are getting the ball in, he's not taking care of the ball sometimes.
No, I agree. Yeah.
He's got to do a better job.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I liked the fact that we were really, especially Ashworth, was really looking inside tonight to get the ball into him.
He's trying to do his job, man. Like, I like how he summed it up to us, I guess, when he was like, hey, I'm not a shooter, I'm a playmaker. And I think that at game by game, like, he's not really focused on anything that's said. He's just focused on what coach is trying to tell him to do, which is great. And I think, I think it's going to be a game-to-game basis according to what he offers, just because he can't do everything.
All right, we want to get to a couple of our features, and the first one is sponsored by CareMinders Home Health Care, our title sponsor here on the Bluejay Banter postgame show live at Let It Fly. When you're needing care for your injured, ill, or senior loved one, reach out to CareMinders Home Care. Their agency is comprised of certified caregivers who have many years of experience. You'll receive versatile, flexible, and customized care, and it will ease your mind and give you peace of mind that your loved one is getting taken care of. I know we have a thing like this with my wife's mother living down in Arizona, so it's really nice that, we can have a home health care system set up for her, and we don't have to worry about, we know she's being taken care of. And again, as Jim, huge Jays fan, has told me several times, he goes, we don't really, it's not like a business like auto repair where, I need auto repair place, right? He goes, you don't ever think about our business until it's time.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's like, hey, maybe it's time you check it out first, so when the time comes, you're ready to go. So call him at 402-532-1383 or go to caremindersnebraska.com. We got Unsung Hero tonight. Tonight could be difficult.
Oh, man. I always think about that first before anything else we talk about.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. The reason why is because I just kind of feel like I want to know who impact the game in ways
I got to
that nobody think about.
You bring that up. So we started this show way back when we were in Valley days, right?
Right.
Back when you were playing, right?
Yep.
And we started this Unsung Hero thing. Just, we're like, well, what should we do? Oh, let's do Unsung Hero. All right,
Yeah.
And now I hear John Bishop. I hear other people in the media
so they
talking
took it
all
from
about
you. I can believe that.
Hero.
I can believe that.
We kind of kicked it off, and so now it's. I like what you brought to the show this year, where you said, let's take a piece of players' games and make them unsung heroes.
For sure.
So who do you got tonight? Who do you got? You thought about it?
I have thought about it. And as I'm sitting here thinking about it now, honestly, I just think it's Francisco Farabello. And the reason why I say is because I was talking about earlier and I was just asking your opinion on how he is right now playing the one versus Steven playing the off guard sometimes, or just trying to get that flow back that we're looking for. I think that Farabello, the way he is trying to execute the offense, allows him to have plays I don't even think he can make, like runners and floaters and stuff like that.
Tonight he made some floaters.
Yeah, so like for me, I just feel like that's like an attribute to his game that's added because he's called upon to do it.
I would go with that. The only other guy I would think was Steven, but maybe he didn't do quite enough.
He didn't do enough. He did what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
He didn't do enough.
But interesting you bring up Francisco, because over on BlueJayBanter.com on our message board, somebody today said, they're their fans that are all upset. And he goes, he's just another Tyler Clement. And I'm like,
wow. And that's no disrespect to him.
Tyler. Yeah,
we ain't knocking him. That's my guy.
I love Tyler when people were banging on him.
Apples and oranges.
I'm like, hey, there's games that we wouldn't have won if we wouldn't have had Tyler out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But Fran does so much more. And that play he made when he got it into the lane and lobbed it up to call, turned immediately and lobbed it. Like he was looking for call.
On the left elbow.
Yes. Yeah, when they went to zone. When they went to zone.
He make a lot of, and that's the thing, man. Like, I talked to Coach Miller about it. He said he actually played point guard in high school. Well, really a combo, but he ran the one at a lot of different times. Yeah. But I just kind of feel like if you're not going to defer to Dotzler, right now, then I just kind of feel like you got to put Fran in a situation where you can see, let's see what plays he can make.
Yeah,
and I think he spreads the floor. Is what I'm trying to tell you. He reacted tonight off of instinct, and he can make the right reads.
That's one thing I think that people with this team that like down the road this is going to pay benefits. Last year with R2, teams backed off him a little bit.
They did.
Okay, because he was like about a 30% three-point shooter, right?
Yeah, and he want to get downhill.
With Farabelle and Ashworth, they all have to be up on those.
Exactly.
Two guys. They can't leave them open.
Right. Yeah.
And so that eventually, when we get into our groove like we got in the second half tonight, it's really going to help us out.
Because the thing I feel like, according to what you said, is they don't really want to necessarily play off of the three-point line. Right. But if you make them, they can make plays.
Right.
So, that's why I said Fran.
Absolutely. And that was sponsored by CareMinders Home Health Care. Worst call of the game, when you win by the margin we won at, there's usually 90 worst calls. But it's sponsored by Godfather's Pizza. Pizza pie piled high. Yep. Go to godfathers.com or stop by your nearest location. Order a pizza. They've got feast to feed your whole family. Abundantly topped pizza with fresh mozzarella and all the toppings in the world you want. My favorite's the combo. I love it. They also have wings, cheese sticks, desserts, and more.
Man,
do you get desserts at Godfather's when you order?
Yes, I do, sir.
What do you like?
I like the brownies.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
See, I like that apple streusel thing, and then like the second go round because it's you can't eat the whole time.
Yeah.
You throw it in the microwave a little bit, throw some ice cream on there.
Yeah. That's what I do with the brownies.
So at any rate, check them out today. Godfather's Pizza. We got a ton of college hoops now. Al, the general manager here tonight, was commenting. We were watching the game together, and he said, "Wow, look at these screens. It's all basketball." And I go, "Hey, football's winding down, but we got NFL playoffs coming up. We got the national championship game next Monday.
Who you got? Who you got?
We're gonna get to that second.
All right.
So so time to call up Godfather's Pizza. The taco pie also is great at Godfather's. So check them out. Go to godfathers.com today.
Mm-hmm.
There was no bad. I didn't have a bad call.
I didn't have a bad call either, man.
Good job, referees.
Yeah. The rest were probably thinking in their mind, like, man, let's get up out of here.
Yeah. They didn't blow too many whistles.
No, they did. They let them play. And the thing is, there weren't that many calls that should have been called that didn't.
Yeah.
Like it was a fairly called game.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, for sure.
Who do I got?
Yeah.
I had Washington last night, man. I'm riding them, baby.
You got to, man. Stick who you came with. Yeah.
Because here's what I loved. The game was over last night, and they're on the podium getting the awards, and they had the defensive player. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name. And he's just up there, and he's just like, you could tell he was just like not a media guy. He just didn't want, And they go, what do you think? They're trying to ask him all these questions. He goes, look, nobody respects us. They make us underdogs in every game.
I like
that.
We
just bring it on. We'll play them. They go, what do you think about playing Michigan? He goes, bring it on.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah. I like those guys like that.
And to them, they're going to the Big Ten next year. They're going to be playing Michigan all the time.
And I bet you that's how they're taking it.
Yeah.
To me, I'm excited for a close game.
I couldn't understand, like last night, from a gambling perspective, I could not understand why Texas was favored.
Experience?
I've just watched that damn Washington team all year long, and they just get it done.
Yeah, no doubt.
They just get it done.
I honestly feel like, bro, that Texas, I think they lost because of coaching. Like that, they wasted so many possessions, and that was last stretch of the game.
They did.
Man. Like
they did.
Wasted.
But
possessions.
then, like Al, the general manager here, their daughter goes to Washington.
Word.
So he had a Washington.
Yeah, that's right.
He had a Husky shirt on.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I said, Al, what a horrible break they got at the end of the game when that guy got hurt.
Yeah, I know.
They could have kneeled down and ran the clock out instead.
I know.
Texas goes all the way down, and it came to the last play of the game.
Yeah, I know. I was nervous, but right when they caught that the deep ball after that, man, it was just coaching.
Oh man,
it was coaching, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going with Michigan.
But what a great day, by the way. What a great day to veer off the road here. But what a great day of football yesterday. Both games came down to the last.
That's what you want, though. That's what you want. That's what you want.
I wanted Alabama to win, though.
Yeah.
And the fumbled snap. They had the play set up, cut in. If he cuts out, he walks into the end zone. They had that sealed off.
So have you been following the narrative of just all about Jim Harbaugh? It's almost like he's like the Thanos, the villain of college football.
Have you ever noticed they interview after the game, they go, yeah, but this guy did it, and he gets the hell
out
of
there. Yeah, he don't want to talk to them. No. Yeah, my father-in-law, east side of Detroit, so my family, man, love Michigan. So I want the Wolverines to win. Just because I can't be on here saying that I don't want. I'm gonna sound like a hater to my own family, man. So I hope Michigan wins.
So you're from Detroit. So let's keep veering this bus off the road. So what do you think of that call in the Dallas game?
Ah, man.
I know I'm alone on an island on this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I don't like your coach. I think he's a meathead. He loses more games than he wins.
Yeah.
Or makes more games closer than he should.
Yep.
He's trying to be tricky there
and
throw that guy out there who's reported on every other play and have him run up to the ref and then sneak the other guy. He was trying to totally trick the system. And the ref, it's on the 2-yard line. The ref's got about a million things going through his mind. All right, I got to watch the quarterback, make sure he doesn't get roughed here, and I got to watch the holding and da-da-da-da-da. And then he hears somebody go, report, and he goes, oh, it's 70. He's reported 15 times this game. Yeah, okay, 70 he's reported. Stop being so tricky with stuff. If 68 wants to report, just run 68 over there. Don't run 70 over there.
Man, I'll plead the fifth, bro. I'll plead the fifth.
Boy, the NFL's standing firm there. They're like, hey, he heard 70, so that's the way it's going.
Right.
We got any chats tonight?
No, man, it's not that many people watching it live, bro. It's New Year's. It's like New Year's. What do you want to call this type of day? There you go. It's a New Year's hangover, man.
Although a lot of people were watching football yesterday.
Yeah, for sure.
So that was.
Yeah, right.
I love it. I'm glad January 1st got back to where the semifinals are on. It sucked when they were on New Year's Day.
I agree.
Or New Year's Eve.
Yep.
And then, because I always look forward to the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl is just great.
I know.
Man.
I actually contemplated once our daughter is like old enough, going down there, going to the parade, then going to the Rose Bowl.
That'd be
crazy, right?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to do that.
That'd be awesome. If you've ever gone to LA, if you drive on the interstate, it's not that far to where like what's it? Where like CBS is? Like it's called Studio City or whatever it is. It's not that far. It's just up the road from there. But when you're driving by the interstate, you can look down to the right, and there sits the Rose Bowl down in kind of a little valley there. It's
Pasadena.
Pasadena.
Yeah.
But when you're driving around LA, the city's all run together. You don't know where the hell you are.
Yeah, I just think about just the history of the Rose Bowl, and it's like the Sugar Bowl don't really got nothing on the Rose Bowl.
But I remember as a kid, it was always
the connotation behind it.
It was always the Sugar Bowl was at noon.
Okay.
Then the Rose Bowl, then the Orange Bowl.
Gotcha.
And a lot of times Nebraska played.
Nebraska in the Orange Bowl.
I'm not from Nebraska, but Nebraska did play in the Orange Bowl a lot at night.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about the Rose Bowl is, I can remember. I remember watching O.J. Simpson playing the Rose Bowl.
O.J. Simpson, that's what's up. That's nice.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Like that.
The historic value.
And I love what Kirk Herbstreit said too. He goes, "Yeah, as a kid, I'm in Ohio and I'm watching this, and it's like 5 o'clock before the game comes on there, and it's dark here, and I'm like, well, as a little kid, I'm like."
Why is the light on TV?
What kind of a paradise is this? The grass is all green. It's light out. What is this?
Exactly.
And the field always looks just immaculate.
I know. It's a big deal, man.
It's cool. It's cool. All right, we're going to veer back to college basketball now. Okay,
Right.
we promise.
Right. Yep.
Opponent preview sponsored by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. They're the bank of Bluejay Banter. Check them out. 2 great locations, Pierce Street in Elkhorn and just south of the Schwab headquarters. If you're thinking about switching banks, you ought to switch to Equitable Bank. They take the headache of banking away. Personal checking made easy. They do answer the phone on the first ring. And not only that, when you walk into one of their locations, everybody just jumps up, takes care of you right now. So check them out, Equitable Bank. Doug Nuggaard, president, huge Jays fan, so check them out today. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Opponent preview. So this, I keep telling people, people's jumping off the cliff after 0-2, and I'm like, hold on, look at what we got
And we
coming.
lost 6 games last year.
We got at Georgetown, W.
Yep.
Then we have Providence at home. Okay?
That's a W, bro.
Now, Providence plays tomorrow.
I can't say that, though.
Here's the deal.
I can't say that.
Providence has played their first 3 games at home, including tomorrow.
Right.
This will be their first Big East road game.
They're not ready for that.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
They are rolling, though, with Devin Carter.
I know. Yeah.
He's playing phenomenally right now.
Right.
So, but anyway, the place will be rocking on Saturday. This will be good. Everybody feels
but
everybody
remember,
feels
though,
good
but
now.
Providence is that sleeper team, though.
Yes, they are.
They like.
They're the top 4. They're that next team.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I actually can put some more respect on their name because I'm thinking about Villanova and the confidence that they play against every time they play us, especially with Dixon. I think Providence and the way they winning and kind of like how things have been going for us, they're going to come in here and try to play us like.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is that number one, they have 3 way more talented players than Georgetown does, okay?
Yeah.
But number 2, they're kind of like Georgetown in a sense that they don't have a lot of size.
No, they don't.
So I think we can take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And us being at home.
Right.
And I want to say something because I've
ahead,
heard
man.
this ever since the Villanova game. People complaining about the music played at the game. People complaining about people leaving a little early.
Everything
People
of why we
complain
lost.
about, guess what? All of that probably makes 0 difference on the outcome of the game.
Right.
But you know what does make a big difference? If you get in your seat on time and make a lot of noise the whole game.
Right.
You don't have to be prompted.
Yeah.
Just make noise when you need to make noise.
100%.
The crowd gets blamed sometimes, like the Villanova game. That turned into a big rock fight there for a while.
Yeah.
It's hard to really get into, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like get
No,
that
I
crowd
feel you.
going on a run.
I'm following you.
So Saturday, just get there early, be pumped.
Yeah.
Come down here to let it fly before the game. Have a few libations.
I agree with
get
that.
set for the game.
Man,
and let's go. But anyway.
The fans, man, are a big deal to help.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why, college basketball, home court advantage is so huge.
Yes.
So, anyway, we had Georgetown, Providence. We get by this Providence game.
Yep.
Then we've got DePaul on the road.
Easy
I think the worst team in the league.
Yeah, right.
Then we play St. John's at home.
That's going to be a scrappy dog fight.
Okay? But
yeah,
they're not very good.
Now, but
they're not very good.
Now, this is what I think. I think you're sleeping on them. I think
they're not very good.
I think St. John's will win a Big East.
They're not very good, Josh.
I feel you, man. But
they could be better. They'll get better.
Can I say my piece?
No. They're going to get better as the season goes along.
They are going to win a Big East tournament game. And I'm going to look at you.
One game?
They're going to.
They're probably going to be the play. They're probably going to play on Wednesday.
So you got to give them more. They're better.
They're
going
to get to the final 8. Congratulations.
You sleeping on them until they kick our ass, and then we back here on it, and we trying to figure it out.
Anyway, I'm not saying any of these games we can't take, and that's the other thing too. People, just because we're ranked 8th in the country at one time, from here on out,
we ain't in the top 25.
17 games.
Right.
We can't take one game for granted.
No,
you got to be up for every single game.
I agree with you on that.
All right,
you're right about that.
So, but anyway, my point is, we could be at 4-2.
You're right.
After being 0-2, now we're back in the race, and I think the next game after that we go to UConn.
Yeah,
but. Yeah. Hey, we're back in the race.
I think we're 4-2 though. I do think we'll beat St. John's. I just think that they're better than.
I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, they just tough, man.
Providence though, going into tomorrow night, they're 11-2.
Mm-hmm.
The computers don't like them though. They played a pretty soft non-conference schedule.
Right.
Their net is 50.
Yeah.
Ken Palm has them like in the 40s. So the computers don't like them, which is going to hurt them in a seeding aspect.
I know, right?
They played 7 games so far against Q4 opponents.
Well, he looked
so that's the deal.
It's like Nebraska Cornhuskers, man. They ain't played nobody.
They ain't played anybody.
Oh, yeah.
And again, as we mentioned, they played 3 games to start the season at home, which is huge for them. So
exactly. So imagine not playing nobody and playing at home.
Yeah, now think about it. Think about it from this point on. So they played 3 games at home. Right? So now there's 17 games left. Do you realize they play 10 on the
10
road?
On the road game. 10 road games in a legit conference.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. So and their last game is at home.
Right.
So the next 16, they play 10 of those 16 on the road.
Man.
That's going to flip things around.
I know. And that is why I'm looking at it like, man, they're a close 4. If they're holding it down like this for 10 games, wow, they deserve to be where they're at.
Well, yeah. Remember that one year DePaul raced out to 3-0. They had 2 games at home. Yeah. They played somebody fairly easy on the road. And I was like, oh, my God, look at the ball. And then I think they went, lost the next 10.
No doubt.
So that's our opponent preview. It's sponsored by Equitable Bank.
Yeah.
What else you got? What else impressed you? I'm still impressed. So impressed with Baylor, and just the fact that he goes fly. And he made one terrific rebound in the second half where he got a putback.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Reached his hand way back, grabbed it, and laid it in.
Are you surprised with some of the athleticism? Like, has he never shown you that side of athleticism before? Like, we know he's gonna get 8-9 rebounds, but
it's just amazing. And again, as you mentioned several times, we're playing Georgetown.
Yeah, but still though.
Okay, but still, for a 6'7" guy. Yeah. Who can rebound and then push it up the floor like he does.
Sounds like what you got to do is you got to turn to the NBA, and everybody 6'7" doing that.
So that was going to be my point. I wanted to ask you this question. Mm-hmm. So, I think I mentioned this before in the preseason. I was at a practice and 2 scouts were sitting next to me, and they just love Baylor.
He just played hard.
They weren't talking about Kalkbrenner. They weren't talking about Trey. They were talking about Baylor. Mm-hmm. Do you think? Does he have enough to relate his game to the next level?
When I think about Baylor Sharman, I think about a bigger Pritchard from Oregon. I think about Dante DiVincenzo.
Okay.
And I think
he's much bigger than DiVincenzo.
Yeah.
Oh, DiVincenzo's like 6'5".
Yeah. But the way he shoots it with his confidence, I think he probably just got to work on his isolation defense more. But but I think he got a chance, man. I think so. I think if you put him in a situation where he gets to play a role like them, like off the ball around the best player, and you allow him to push it, and he's a secondary guy to come in, I think he can have a sustainable career.
And I think he's
with the right program, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's got to work on his handles a little bit too.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Like he hasn't really been challenged to the point to where
He kind of sometimes he looks very awkward out there.
And that's something. That's a good point, bro. I would love to see him handle the rock more.
I have an NBA comp for you guys actually, because I've actually put a lot of thought into this.
By the way, this is Zach, our wonderful producer.
You don't see me on camera. I'm just the man in the chair.
Yeah.
But Kyle Anderson.
Okay.
He
think about
rocks
that.
you to sleep.
Yep.
If he can work on that kind of interior defense, handle guys on the perimeter a little bit, then he can kind of come in and fill that slow-mo role. That's what he reminds me of.
That's what I'm trying to say. Somebody like that. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. I think you're right, bro. Like, he's a guy who can contribute to play a role to give one of your main guys a breather, and he can, run with the second unit, I really think so.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we got a chat.
Oh, yeah. Let's have it. What do we got, Josh?
So this is CUJ's fan.
I think I know him.
What is it going to take for Fred to get some more minutes? I thought tonight would be a good night for him to get some more PT. That's on you first.
I mean, what did he have? He probably had 18 minutes tonight.
He did his role. Yeah. So, I you know what? I'll take that first. I think if you're looking at it from a perspective of, we're playing Georgetown, not as good, give Fred some burn. Mac did that, actually. Kalk was on the bench resting, and he was just trying to get confidence back within Freddie's minutes. Down the stretch, I mean, we value Kalkbrenner so much that we're going to need him more. So it's just a matter of him just coming in and playing his role whenever Kalk is deferred to the bench.
Yeah.
Like his role is his role.
I thought I thought he had about the right amount of minutes. He was running the point for a while. I thought that was good.
He's one of the few guys who's going to play the consistent role throughout the whole season.
I think there was even a part of the game, it didn't go very long, but there was a part of the game where we had
Good question, though.
both.
Good question.
Yeah, absolutely. We had both Ashworth and Faribault in the game.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
when Trey took a rest.
Yeah. I can't see he'll never be in the game, and I never say never, but I don't ever see Freddie King and Kalk being in the game at the same time.
No.
So if you're looking for that
ain't happening.
But I mean, Kalk is our focal point. So it's one of those things where, let's say we're playing a Marquette, let's say we're playing UConn, one of those top tier teams. Like his role is consistent. He's going to definitely always back up Kalkbrenner. He's going to give him a breather. He's going to give us a different look whenever we want to get a little physical and things like that.
I want to ask you about one person because I get this a lot because people are frustrated with Ashworth.
Yeah.
Okay. You've been at some practice too. Josiah Dotzler.
All right. So
I mean, he's close, but I don't think Mac wants to throw him into the fire yet.
Well, Mac plays a short bench regardless.
He does. He always has.
So
and people forget that.
They do.
Like people, that's the other thing. People are complaining about Jonathan Lawson. Like, why did we bring him on? We could have brought blah blah. It's just how Mac does. Mac has always been. Bro. When he gets to conference, he plays eight guys.
Exactly.
That's how it is.
100%. And the thing is almost like but I'm gonna speak from I guess a Jays fan perspective too. I do understand what you're saying. Like, hey, Josiah Dotzler can do the same things as Faribault and the same things as Ashworth. I agree. But it always goes right back to what you just said. Mac played that short bench. And there was a time he put him in there for like maybe a second or two to get a foul or something like that.
Because we had fouls to give,
yeah. But honestly, I feel like Josiah is ready right now to play. I do think if there is anything, let's play hypothetical. So our next game is Providence, right? Let's say we drop to Providence, and let's say our Providence games looks like our Villanova and Marquette game. I say even then you give an opportunity to Josiah where you take a dabble of minutes from both Ashworth and Faribault, and you put
against DePaul.
Yeah. And you see what Josiah can do in that sense, if that's what you're trying to answer.
He's got a lot of talent. Man.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, he's player of the year.
And not to be funny, he's actually bigger than both of them.
He's bigger than his brother. He's like 6'4".
And he can shoot it. He can guard.
He can take it to the hole. He's fearless taking it to the hole.
I think that Josiah's ready.
I'm telling you, at practice, there's sometimes he looks great. There's sometimes where he gets lost on defense and so forth. And you remember, too, what people, they just... You know how people they say we should learn from history?
Yeah.
Fans never learn from history. remember those times when we had to play point guards because of injury?
Yep.
We put them in there, and they did not do well because they just weren't quite ready.
Yeah.
Even Davion Mintz, who came here, wasn't really a point guard.
No, he was a
even though he played point guard, he wasn't. That wasn't what he was going to play here. He got forced in that point guard role, and he did not perform well for 2 years, really.
Yeah, yeah, it was a good move for him to go to Kentucky.
Yeah, because then he got to play off the ball a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was much better.
Yeah, I think I can't say that Josiah ain't ready. I just feel like it all comes down to Mac and who he wants to play. I think Josiah is ready right now. I think if we continue to see what we've seen in Villanova and Marquette, I think that Mac should make them start competing in practice for who's going to be that eighth man. He's probably going to always keep Steven in just as a vet and a primary point guard. Faribault got a lot of experience, so I just kind of feel like it comes to a lack of productivity. If somebody not producing from that position, then if it looks, do you remember the year before last year when it was a thing where we had Sharif Mitchell And we had all these guys on the bench, and certain guys weren't doing things, and we were talking about, let's try this, let's try that. But that was able to have a conversation because you couldn't trust anybody on that bench, and Mac only could play 5 guys. And so when we get in a situation where there's a lack of productivity in that combo spot or that point guard spot, I say shave a few minutes from both, or shave minutes from one who's not producing as much. Give Josiah a chance and go from there.
Yeah.
That's my answer.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we'll see it, frankly.
Hell no, you won't.
Just like you said.
You play a short
as long as we're healthy.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Knock on wood.
But that's no knock to Coach Mack either, though.
No, it's no knock to him, and it's no knock to Josiah.
I mean, exactly. Mack been doing this for years. And to be honest with you, like, I'm a fan of playing short benches, personally. Do you want Trey to get 25 minutes, or would you like him to get 35? That's basically what it boils down to. You know what I mean? Yeah, it does. No, 100%. It comes down to that because it's like, what can you get out of Trey if he gives you 25 versus 35 minutes? And so, like, for me, like, for instance, when I played, I was the 6th man on the team, and I had a consistent role of maximizing my minutes. It was maybe like 20, 22, 23 or something like that.
Oh, stop.
I don't know what it was. What was it? What was it?
No.
Yeah,
I couldn't even tell you. That was so long ago.
But between myself and Jahans, you know.
Okay, yeah. So we had the core 5.
Yeah.
Then tell me who we had. We had you,
myself.
Then we had was Toby there when you were there?
No, sir.
There was the year after.
This is the last year in the Valley.
Okay.
It was myself. Let me go through the starting 5.
Will Artino.
Yeah, it was Will Artino and Avery Dingman. Yeah, and so so now talk about it.
So there's your 8 guys.
There you go. And this ain't no disrespect, but Avery ain't playing over me. Like, with my productivity and the things that I brought to the table, that's why I played.
Avery kind of came on that next year.
The next year.
Well,
exactly.
actually, those guys showed a lot of promise, Avery and Will, like that last year.
Yep.
Then when the year we lost, well, that was after you left, but when we lost Doug.
Yeah.
Then it was their team.
I think it was underachieved, bro.
That's when they slumped down.
Exactly.
Like, they didn't play. That's when Grosel came on, actually.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though.
Like they had a role to be a supporting, and now they were the main role, and they struggled a little bit now.
So imagine if you can't hold it down as a supporting cast, when you're put into the driver's seat, you won't even produce. And that's what I'm trying to say is, like, for the circumstances right now, with a guy like Josiah Dotzler, I feel like if he, let's just say hypothetically, Farabello and Steven aren't, their maximum production is within 27 minutes or whatever, not the whole 30 or whatever they play. Whatever they play -4. Then that's when you give Josiah an opportunity and you see what he does sporadically, or any other guy with Josiah, to actually see if they can sustain that. It's about consistency. You got to stack good days. You got to stack good games, right? And so once he does that, let's say the whole year he averages 4 or 5 minutes. I bet you by next year he gonna be,
you know that you got to understand, we're 0-2.
Yeah.
Mac wasn't going to let this game, it went from 24 down to what? 16, whatever.
It sends a bad message.
He wasn't going to let this game slip away. No way.
But it sends a bad message in your first 2 conference games if you're already deferring to guys out of your rotation. You know?
Right. So, and Ross and I talked about this last week, too. We're like, with Steven, we were talking.
But that don't mean I don't want Josiah to play.
No.
Yeah.
But we were talking basically about Ashworth.
Yeah.
And I made the comment to Ross, and Ross agreed. We look at it as fans. We look at this small little silo of this game.
Right.
Mac's looking at this big silo of 30 silos. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's saying, now if I start yanking Steven, yank him out starting, that's going to ruin his confidence.
It's going to ruin
I'm
chemistry.
going to need him in game 25.
Exactly.
So I can't do that.
Right.
I need to be patient.
Right.
And, people forget Max won one hell of a lot of basketball games.
I know. I mean, I witnessed this. There was times on the bench where I was like, dude, I want to play more. But want me to give you the ultimate compliment to what you said? I was a starter originally. My senior year, I was a starter, right? No, take that back. My junior year, I was going to be a starter. But for the sake of the team, Jahan started because he played better in that role. Like,
Yeah. I remember that.
I remember that. I was a starter.
You were better coming off the bench.
100%. Yeah, so imagine if I started. We would have lost more ball games, and Jahans wouldn't have been as productive.
Man, I'm glad you said that.
I'm just keeping it real.
No, I'm glad you said that because people are always throwing out.
So it was my ego, too. I was like, all right, I got to buy into this.
Here's the other thing that ticks me off. People are trying to, they're throwing the Salas thing out. Why didn't we get him?
We could have used him, though.
He's scoring 24 points. Look, you can't. I don't give a crap how many points he's scoring at Wake Forest.
Yeah.
He might be being being selfish with the ball. I don't know. I'm just saying.
No, for sure.
He might be selfish with the ball. He might not be a fit for this system. There's tons of reasons why. We're all giddy about R2. Well, he went to Gonzaga. Like, R2 hadn't been playing that well Gonzaga. Like Ross said the last time, he says, man, I watched a game last night. The last game Ross watched, he said, he really had a bad game. And they're 9-4. Do you think he's making Gonzaga better? Apparently not.
Yeah.
Because this is like one of their worst years they've had.
I got to watch it.
And I'm not putting it all on him.
No, you're not. No, I feel you. No, I feel what you're saying.
But I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't just pull some guy what he's doing at Wake Forest and go, well, he'd be scoring 25. Yeah. No, you don't know that.
Now, what I will tell you, at Creighton, he wouldn't score 25 points. What he would do is be a contributor along. So let's say I'm going to just play hypothetics. With and without Steven. I feel like without Steven, that with Josiah, it leaves an opportunity for Trey to actually play more of a primary one. You can put Salas at the 2, Shireman at the 3, and then when you have a first sub, then you'll have Josiah come in, and then you can put Josiah at the 1, and you still got 2 guards. With Steven there, it's the same thing. It's nothing really changes,
Right.
But with that being said, he probably I don't think he would average 20, 25 here.
Yeah.
But I do.
But there's team chemistry too, right? You don't know.
It's a lot that goes into it.
And I'm not saying he's bad in the locker room. He might be. I don't know.
He's a good kid, man.
I don't. Well, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You don't
he's
know.
A neighborhood guy.
There's a reason. I mean,
he's a good.
Does
good
Mac
kid.
hit on every player? No.
Well, yeah. And to be honest,
you know what? Mac hits on a lot of them.
Yeah. What you mean? What you mean by that?
Well, just his decision to either take a recruit as a freshman or transfer portal.
Oh yeah. I understand.
Mac does a pretty good
Coach
job.
Mac wanted Hunter. I'm here to tell you today that Coach Mac really wanted Hunter Salas. It was Hunter Salas' choice not to come to Creighton.
Well, see, that's the 8th different story I've heard.
Well, you're talking to the source. You're talking to the source. 100%. Coach Mac wanted Hunter Salas. Hunter Salas just chose not to come to Creighton.
Well,
and you talking
we're gonna just leave it at that.
Yeah, but
I've just heard different from really good sources.
Well,
I think it was a mutual thing, actually.
No, I'm trying to tell you, Hunter is my family.
No, I understand.
He's my family.
Hunter didn't want to come here, and Creighton wasn't walking over broken glass to get him here either. You know what I'm saying?
There you go. Yeah. I can shake your hand on that one.
Yeah,
all right.
That's good.
Yeah,
so, I heard that back when we were first recruiting him from his dad.
Yeah.
Right?
No, that's real. That's real. Yeah, for sure. But I will say though, back to this CUJ's fan spoke about Fred. We talked about Josiah. I think Josiah can play, to be honest. But the thing is, Mac plays a short bench. And you have to really understand that it's early in the season. He can't send the wrong message to the locker room. And my best and greatest advice to Josiah is stay ready so you'll never got to get ready. Because who's to say?
You never know when there's going to be an injury.
That's what I'm about to say. And that's why I started knocking on wood. What if we only got one more point guard, and that is Josiah. What if somebody get hurt? What if there's lack of production out of one of the guards? You just never know with life, man. So I know Josiah's doing the right thing. Mac plays a short bench.
I'm not worried about Josiah because he's such a good kid.
Nah, yeah.
He's a legacy, and he knows
the answer is you said it. Mac plays a short bench, and it's way too early to not to kind of defer from the rotation.
But
guys.
You agree with me though? You can't pull. You can't pull R2 stats or Kaluma stats.
No, they're different players.
Those and say, they've been doing this at Creighton. You don't know. No one knows.
Yeah, I feel the connotation of that, but no, you can't say that because
you just don't know.
Because another player like Alex O'Connell came from Duke.
Yeah. Yeah, a good point. And started at Duke for a while.
He's a really good player.
But
coming here to Creighton, he was.
Heck, we redshirted him the first year, and then we had an injury, and we pulled his redshirt.
Yeah, and by the way, he's super athletic. But like, you would expect a Duke player to come in and dominate. And I'm not saying he didn't play well or nothing. I'm just saying it's all hypothetical. But I mean, I can definitely dream though. I would have loved to see Hunter in a.
There's just what we said earlier.
Yeah.
you got Alex O'Connell coming from Duke and couldn't jump into the lineup right away, but yet you've got Davian Mintz who couldn't really do much here and goes to Kentucky and he's a starter.
There you go.
So it's just a fit.
You go, bro.
It's a comfort.
That's why Doug McDermott. Aside from Coach Mack being his dad. I'm saying that because I know a lot of people would defer to that. There's a small little degree with that, but I watched and witnessed this guy put in the work. Doug coming to Creighton was the greatest thing ever because it was the right system and it made him maximize his skills and talent potential. So yeah, it's tough, man. I like the conversation though. I'm here for the barbershop talk. Yes, I live for that.
You always are. I hate to veer off the road again, but I got to ask this question because they've turned the Iowa game on and it's tied with Michigan State. How much have you watched Caitlin Clark?
I watch a lot of her, man. And to me, I just kind of feel like sometimes people are just born with it in them. And I think that
she's a dog.
Yeah,
she's a dog, man. She has that mentality. She's not out there giggling and laughing. You know what I mean? She's out there. She's
trying to take you out, bro. She's trying to take you out. Yeah. Did you watch the championship game last year?
It's just like Doug McDermott. When he came on the court, you could just look at him and go, we're going to win.
It's like Larry Bird.
We're going to win.
Yeah, it's like Larry Bird. Yeah, I think of Larry Bird, not from a white perspective, but I just remember conversations when Doug was in college and he was doing the Sports Illustrated thing.
Yes.
We went to Indiana State and all those type of things, and I remember conversations of people talking about like that killer's mentality, and they just said Larry Bird was one of those guys where
absolutely
there wasn't no – I can't say the explicits, but it wasn't no messing around like when it was time to play. And that was Doug's, and that's how Caitlin is.
The best story I ever heard about Larry Bird, when this came from him, was this when he was in the NBA with the Celtics. Mm-hmm. He's like, it's summertime, it's like July, and he goes, I'm in my house, and I'm sitting there, and he goes, I'm going to take a day off today. I'm not going to work out today.
Okay.
Then he sat there for 5 minutes. He goes, you know what?
Magic Johnson is in the gym. I knew it.
Magic is working out today.
There you
I'm
go.
going to work out.
There you go.
And
that was Doug.
That
was Doug.
Those guys don't fall off trees.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's what I appreciate about Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
If there's anything I can take from her, it's an unconscious, relentless attitude to take you out.
Yep.
That's what made Jimmer Fredette scary.
All right. Well, Drake, our good buddy D-Rock, rolling over there. They're up 30 on Illinois State. So they're going to move to 12-2. They're off to a nice start.
Yeah, I mean.
That's going to be a heck of a battle between them and Indiana State this year.
I seen Tucker DeVries. Yeah,
Tucker was here for Doug's celebration.
For as tall as he is now from when he was younger, I'm going to be the first to tell you, I never expected him to be who he is today.
And he's a big dude.
He is.
I mean, he's not a skinny 6'9" guy. He's big.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I'm excited. And the thing is,
I was always hoping Dad would, his dream was always to play for Creighton.
I know.
I was always hoping Dad would you go see what you can do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I know, man. I know.
And maybe it could still happen.
The transfer portal, why not play? Wait, what year is he in college, first of all? I'm getting old.
Oh, he's got to be junior, maybe?
Oh, okay. Yeah, why not play one more year at Creighton?
Yeah.
No, we don't need him.
We're kind of stacked at the 4.
We don't need him at the 4. Yeah, yeah, we don't need him, bro.
Yeah,
but he is balling, man. I remember I looked up, and it was early though, but he was leading the country in scoring.
Yeah, yeah.
I sent it to him. He started laughing.
He can shoot it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right, we veered off the road a lot tonight.
That's good though. Yeah, that's good though, man. Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Remember, Saturday, 1:00.
Yep.
Tip. Just keep getting in your seats early, people. I love it. 1:00 tip, that's a perfect time for a game on Saturday. 1:00, come down and let it fly first. Make sure and reserve your table down here. Come down, have something to eat, a few libations, and then head over to CHI. Huge game, probably against an undefeated in-conference
Providence
team, and we can we can get back to 500 in the conference and really start making a run at that title.
Let's get it, man. It's always packed here at Let It Fly, so make sure you call ahead of time.
There you go. There you go. Thanks, Zach. Appreciate it. Thanks, Josh. We will see you Saturday right after the game.